last Straw Hat that's officially a member of the crew. Jinbei. Today we're talking about Jinbei. Yeah, this one's gonna be kind of weird one. Let's just preface it by saying that because we don't really know that much about Jinbei and when he got his bounties, but we can do some speculation. So Jinbei got his first bounty of 76 million berries, or at least the first time that we know of. 15 years before the present storyline, we saw this in the Fishman Island flashback, and basically this tells us that Jinbei got a bounty that was like 4 times Arlong's final bounty, which still makes no sense to me because I figured that like Arlong would get a higher one because he was being more active, but I guess not. Still makes no sense. I wish that could just be retconned or something, but it's not. So Jinbei's next bounty of 250 million berries. We found this out before Marineford during Impel Down when we first got to see Jinbei in level 6, and basically there we saw that his bounty was 250 million berries before he became a warlord, so that's sometime within like 15 to 2 years ago. We don't really know when he became a warlord, we just know that he was one, and that his next bounty of 438 million berries was issued to him after all the stuff that happened during Marineford, him defecting from the warlords and not participating in Marineford War. That's what earned him his bounty of 438 million berries, plus pretty much whatever he did after that, because we know that he was of course affiliated with the Big Mom crew for a bit, so he could have done all sorts of stuff at that point in his pirating career, but we don't really know much of the specifics. So now that we have sort of a basis for what his bounties were, then let's go to Wano, because Jinbei's kind of like a particular Straw Hat in the fact that he just now joined, so we haven't seen him come with the crew on adventures, and we've kind of just seen him be with Luffy during like the most important moments. But now during Wano, he gets a fight with Who's Who, and the thing is, we don't really know any of the Tobiropo's bounties, but of course I've been speculating in the past few videos, since a lot of the Straw Hats have been fighting the Tobiropo, of what their bounties could actually be. And what I came up with is that I feel like most of the Tobiropo would be in the 400 to 600 range, but they could be higher. We don't really know that yet, but either way, it would be a good place to speculate where Jinbei's bounty would be. I wanted the Tobiropo's bounties to be higher than the Supernova, who seem to be like in the 300 range with everyone except Extra Egg, actually, who is a member of the Tobiropo, kind of, and he had a bounty of 222 million berries, but of course we found this out pre-time skip, but I'm guessing his bounty could be raised by around 100 million by now. So I said that maybe Sasuke's bounty was an even 500 million. I feel like Who's Who might be the one that's the most like up there in terms of bounty, so let's say that Who's Who's bounty is around 600 million. So if we say that his bounty is about 600 million, we could just increase Jinbei's bounty by 200 million, but we have to keep in mind that we know that Jinbei is about at least second commander level, I guess, and we've seen him fight Ace for 5 days, but granted, Ace was probably less powerful and he didn't even have the title of second commander at that point, but I feel like Jinbei has gotten stronger since that point, and Ace had a bounty of 550 million berries, so I feel like Jinbei's bounty could go up. I'm seeing him in like the 700 to 800 range, so if we just increase his bounty by 300 million, I feel like it could be 738 million, and that would be a good place for him. Might be a little higher, might be a little lower, but yeah, this is just speculation. So moving on to his next bounty, which I believe probably just gonna come up at the end of the story. I feel like we'll get to see Jinbei fight more since he's one of the new members. Oda will probably kind of try to include him more. After all, he was the second highest bounty in the crew for a little bit, since right now there's pretty much Luffy, and then there's Jinbei, and then there's Zoro and Sanji, who have like the same. But after this, they will probably have higher bounties than Jinbei. but I don't feel like there's really a specific set up fight for Jinbei. People think that he might fight like San Juan Wolf, like in terms of the Blackbeard crew, because they have the same body type, kind of. Um, I don't really know. It's kind of a strange thing because we don't really have much setup for what Jinbei could be doing in the story. He does seem to have a lot more of a support role in terms of his whole point of his character all the way up to this point has been supporting other people, including the rest of the Fishman and Luffy in particular. So him as the helmsman of the crew as well, it's kind of hard to determine where he could get a bounty increase, and we know that he's strong, but we don't know if he's going to get increases from it, besides the fact that he was a former warlord and is now working with Luffy, who is kind of getting up there in terms of bounty and notoriety. So for Jinbei's final bounty, I feel like it will be over a billion, if not like sub billion. But let's put it over a billion, since I put Brooks and Robbins and Frankie's around the billion range. So Jinbei, he's pretty powerful. All the warlords that we've seen as of now could have bounties over a billion. You could argue that, and since Jinbei was a former warlord, and I think he could be stronger than maybe Hancock or probably not Weevil, but some of them, one of them. I don't really know. Never stronger than Buggy. Impossible. Insane. Could never be stronger than Buggy. But in terms of a final bounty for Jinbei, I'm seeing him like well over a billion. I feel like maybe like 1,000 or 1,250,000,000. So that would just be like his frozen bounty before he was a warlord, and then add a billion on. I feel like around that range would be a good place for him. So let's put that as Jinbei's final bounty. Jinbei is kind of the one that we know the least about. So if you have any comments or questions or anything else, please do let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. See you all tomorrow, maybe, hopefully, or maybe the day after, or maybe the day after. But yeah, bye.